What's up YouTube? Back here with another video. It's been a minute. It feels like it's been a minute since I made my last video, so I thought why not make a new video and talk about something that I feel like it was much needed to be talked about, and basically figuring out what you want to do with your life. It's a massive question. It's a huge question. And you probably wouldn't just figure it out just by watching this video, but I'm making this video in the hopes that you could use it as a guideline just to direct your thoughts and figure out where you want to head to. It doesn't have to be a concrete answer, but if you get some idea of what you want to do, that's like more than enough. And contrary to popular belief, you don't have to know what you're doing with your life, even even in your 20s or 30s, or there's no age to it. You could just live a day at a time if that's your thing, but if you feel more secure, if you feel more safe and comfortable knowing where your life is headed, then a little planning will definitely help. So if you want some direction or guidance to where you want to go with your life, then keep watching this video. Alright, before I start, I just want to let you guys know it's completely normal. It's so normal to not know what you want to do with your life, even if you think you're running out of time, or you're getting late, or your friends figured it out and you haven't figured it out. It's totally cool. It's not supposed to be that you just wake up one morning and you know exactly what you want to do, or you figured it out last week, and then this week you're like, wait, I don't want to do the same thing, I want to move on to something different. So it's all right to keep changing. One of the best ways to actually figure out what you want to do with your life is to keep trying new things, try different activities, hobbies, just step into the water, try different things. That's the only way you would know what you would want to do for the rest of your life, or at least put majority of your energy and time into. So it's completely normal being confused and not knowing where you want to take your life, but there's a few techniques you could use, some reflection you could give, some thoughts you could give, just to figure out maybe how you would want to visualize your life in 5 years, 10 years. So in this video I'm going to be showing you 3 ways on how you could do that, how you could reflect and visualize your future. So the first way is called the Graystone Technique. Now this technique involves you visualizing what you'd want to be written on your gravestone. Now it's kind of like a sad thing to visualize because you're dead, but bear with me and try to visualize this. What would you want to be written on your gravestone? What are, maybe it could be 3 personality traits or 3 labels that you want to be known for or being characterized as. Also, as I'm going through these questions, I highly suggest you start writing down these, because it will be hard to remember all of it at once. So get a pen and paper, write these down, and as a bonus, I'll be sharing my thoughts and what my answers were for each of these questions. So maybe you get an idea, or maybe it helps you figure out how you want to approach these questions. So the first technique, the Graystone Technique. What would you want to be written on your gravestone? For me, the 3, I went for the 3 labels, and I wrote a small phrase after that too. But the 3 labels I want to be characterized with is philanthropist, entrepreneur, and influencer. Now, I know I could get a lot more specific with these, but just to start off the questions, just to start off answering these questions, I want to have a little bit of a broad idea of what I am and how I would want others to see me and perceive me. So these are the labels I chose, and then after that I wrote, I want to be someone who had done good things for other people. So that comes under philanthropist, doing charity work, helping the world, and being in a position where I could, after I succeed, I feel like the only purpose in my life would be to help others succeed and just prosper just as much as I have. And that's what would bring me most satisfaction. So this is just one of them for me, but it could totally be different for you. It doesn't have to be the same one. Alright, let's see. And helping others, also building communities and helping kids. because I feel like, kids are like the future of all the generations. Any problem, anything that happens, it happens starting from the childhood. Your brought up is so important. So being able to help not just communities and adults, but also the children and youth of those communities would really impact so much that I probably wouldn't be able to think about it. But it's something that would carry on generations ahead. So that would be one of my things that I would want to be known for when it comes to the Graystone technique. Also, what are the personality traits, suppose your friends or your family talk about you once you're dead? What are the things you'd want them to say about you? Try to think of those questions and answer, and just write down everything. Honestly, you could use a laptop, you could type it out, but I prefer writing it down. It just feels more organic for me, and as thoughts come, it just feels more natural just to write it down. So go ahead and write these down, whatever you're thinking when you think of these questions and how you want to answer them. And the third one is Wikipedia. It's also, these all three are part of the first technique, which is the Graystone technique. So the third sub part of the Graystone technique is your Wikipedia page. What would you want to be written on your Wikipedia page? What are the things you want to be known for? So all these three parts of the same question hover around the same idea of what you want to be known for, what are the personality traits you want, what do you want to be characterized by. So all of these are just ways to visualize how people will perceive you once you're gone. Alright, so this is the second way now. The second way is it's called the Odyssey Plan. It has three parts as well. The first part is, what would my life look like if I went down the same path I am 5 years from now? So if you continue doing the same habits you have right now, the same daily routine, the same thinking, the same mentality you have right now, where are you going to be ending up in 5 years? Think about that. It could be maybe you're not doing enough, and maybe you're just going to be in the same place in your life 5 years from now. Or maybe you have big plans and you're working a step at a time, no matter how small the step is, but you're working on it every day. And in 5 years you expect to be somewhere completely different in your life. Whatever the case is, write that down. For me, I see myself being somewhere in the health field. It could be either physiological, like being a PA or a nurse, or it could be in the mental health aspect of things too, being a psychologist or a psychotherapist. So that's how I visualize myself. And the other part I wrote, I'll have saved up enough capital to start my own business and being able to own my own house. And this is based on my current habits I have, my current routines I have, and if I continue doing what I'm doing right now, that's what I would expect to be in life in 5 years. Now the second part to this question, what would your life look like 5 years from now if you took a completely different alternative path? So this could be a decision you made that was life altering for you. I'll give you an example. For me, coming to America, coming to New York, back when I decided to do this when I was 16, wasn't a life-altering decision for me. I feel like if I hadn't taken that decision, my life would have been completely different. Now, that's the question. What would that life have looked like? For me, that life would have, naturally I would want to say, give an answer that's not as good as this, but that's just, you would think that because that's an alternate reality, and that's the decision you did not take. If I told myself, oh wait, that life would have been completely better, which could have been, maybe not, I would never know. But my answer to that question is, if I had stayed back home and just stayed in Dubai instead of coming to New York, I might have just continued studying in Dubai, continue. I feel like the influences around me would have been different. The people I surrounded myself would have been different. My mindset would have been completely different. So I might have not even have started making YouTube videos. I might have just stuck to a 9 to 5. Maybe I would have just been happy and satisfied with doing a desk job, not wanting to do anything more than that. Maybe just travel around the world, have a break from that. But that's what my life would have looked like. I wouldn't have been so open-minded, or grown mentally so much, seeing other parts of the world. So being at home, I feel that would have been completely different for me. And what's that life-altering decision for you in your case that would have completely changed your life if you had taken it? Alright, now third part of this question, which I find the most interesting one, and I'm sure you've heard this one before. It's what your life would look like if money, people, and societal expectations were not a thing. So what would you do? What would you do with your life if money wasn't a problem? Money wasn't even a concept. Societal expectation, family expectations, your friends' expectations, all those influences were not there. What would you do with your life? So my answer to that, I'd be living a very low-key life in nature, creating digital content, or just simply being creative and being more spiritual, and also having a lot of pet animals. That's what I would do. If money wasn't a concern, I'd have so many animals. I'd have like goats running around the whole house. That's a little too much, but I love animals, so I would have a lot of animals. That's just one part of it. But I would just still continue creating. I feel like creating and being creative is one of those things that has no end point or goal. So, there is no levels to it. There's no point system. It's just freely creating art or creating anything you want to create with no boundaries or like limitations. That would be the ultimate like escape for me, or just the life to live. Creating digital content. And of course, if I could make spirituality a part of my life, even when there's no one around me, when I'm not doing it for anyone else, I'm just doing it for myself. Spirituality, I definitely see that being a big part. So those are the things I want to see in my life if money and societal expectations were not a thing. What would that be for you? Alright, so that was the Odyssey. Now let's get to the third way of how to figure out what you want to do with your life. The third way is, this one gets down to the detail. This one is like, okay, I started off broad. I started off with vague ideas of what I want to be seen, what I want to be perceived as, what I want people to think of me as. Now let's get down to the detail. Let's say 3-4 years from now. 3-4 years from now, what do you want your weekly schedule to look like? So what would your Mondays look like? What would your Fridays, Saturdays, Sunday, each day of the week, what would it look like? Now I know that sounds like a lot of work. It's almost like you're planning your whole week ahead, 2 years ahead, 4 years ahead. But trust me, do the work, write these down, and it's gonna like help you so much figure out what your ideal week in your future should or you want to look like. It would help you give a strong idea of like how you want things to play out, or what direction you should take with your life to make those a part of your daily schedule. Let me share mine with you. So just to get an idea of how you guys could schedule it too, I'm not going to tell you like hour by hour. I'll tell you like the things I wrote down and things I want to make a part of my weekly schedule. So starting off, at least 2 times, if not a few times, I want to have time to spend with my family, whether that's family dinner or whether that's going out to the park, doing those in the weekends, or even a day or two in the weekdays. I'm totally cool with that. I would love that to be a part of my schedule. Let me go over things I want to have as a daily schedule, like a daily routine thing. Workout and meditation every day, 100%. A few times in a week, I want to be able to network and meet new people, because I feel that really helps open up your mind and expand your way of thinking. Creating or working. So if I can find a way of creating and making income off of that, that's creating and working for me at the same time. But regardless if I'm getting paid for it or not, I would definitely want to have something or do something that helps my creative juices just flow and get creative with whatever I'm doing without feeling I have any boundaries. Cooking, because we can order Grubhub or Uber Eats every night. Also, cooking can be fun. And if you're working out, trying to get shredded, you gotta cook. You can't be ordering empanadas and Philly cheesesteaks. That's just not gonna work. So you can make cooking fun. You gotta cook. I'm gonna cook. I love cooking. So another one is reading and learning. So these are all things I want to have in a daily, as a daily routine in my week. And reading and learning is definitely something I want to keep doing. It's a lifelong thing, but I don't have to go all in with it and go hardcore studying. I'm just talking about reading a few pages of a book, or just learning anything, something new every day. It doesn't have to be a book. It could be a YouTube video, and I learn something off of it. But just the concept of continually learning something. So, and then I get a little specific with my activities. So I mentioned I want to be creative earlier. So here I also mentioned 2 times a week I want to be able to paint. And I'm not the best painter, and I don't claim to be a painter, but I just feel it's such a raw and organic way of being creative. I love it myself personally. If you like it too, go ahead with it, do it, try it out. But 2 times a week I want to be able to paint and just express myself through art. 3 times a week, about 3 times a week, I want to be able to just day trade stocks, trade crypto, because I feel like the trading and then being creative pushes such a completely different part of your brain that it's so opposite, yet like you feel like you need to be able to push it, because you can't just be working one side of your brain and not the other. Also, I don't want to make it sound like I'm doing these because I have to do it, because I have to work each and every aspect of my personality and brain. I'm just saying because I like to be an all-rounded person, and I want to have a balanced life. And also I like trading. It's pretty fun. And I know it won't be a thing for everyone. It's not gonna be, trading is not everyone's thing, but it definitely is something I want to keep a part of and stick to. Weekends will include brunches with friends, going out on dinners, most of those stuff. And 3 to 4 times a week at least, I want to be working the health field of some sort. It could be, mental health, it could be physical health, either one. I want to get involved in those. So, those were my, brief summary of what I want my life to look like from now. Not from now, but in the future. But I'm gonna start working on it from now. Reading and going through these and writing these down and giving these some thought, it just helps you guide your own thoughts and just take some decisions that'll bring you a little closer every day to those goals, and to create that weekly schedule you want in your life. It's a lot of writing this down, will take you a few minutes, but it's so worth it. I did this, and I feel like anytime I'm confused or overwhelmed by so much information I'm getting and feeding my mind with every day, that going back and reading this every few days, it's just like a checkpoint for me. Like, wait, hold on, where am I headed again? I read through this, I'm like, okay, that's the goal. Remind yourself that, keep going. So give this a shot. Give the technique I wrote a shot. Try it out. and tell me what you think about it. Did it help you? Do you think that you want to add something to this that would make it a little more interesting or accurate in trying to figure out where you want your life to be? You can use all these techniques, but in the end of the day, just understand that it's the best way to actually figure out what you want to do with your life is first and foremost try out different things, try out different activities, be open-minded, taste a few different things, and then decide what really sparks your soul and what you want to do. But I feel like these techniques were really helpful for me, and I really hope that it helps you out too. Alright guys, that's all I got for today, and let me know if you guys want me to make more videos similar to this, or if you guys want me to make videos more, I don't know, working out stuff or more creative stuff. Either way, I'll try to hit each and every one of those videos and keep a good balance in this channel. But until my next video, you guys peace out. I'll see you again.